All right, I'm experiencing something in real time that I want to share with you guys because this is strange. It's an interesting phenomenon, but at the same time, it's strange. And how it came about is odd as well. Okay. So, to give you a little bit of a backstory, it's not really like a beneficial or a detrimental thing for you to listen to like it's neutral. It's just an experience that I'm going through and I'm sharing it, and that's really it. So, I mean, if it interests you, listen. If it doesn't interest you, don't listen. So, a little bit of a backstory. In March, the end of March, I decided to start taking a GLP-1 medication, like a Wegovy or Ozempic, okay? So, I've been on this medication for several months. And most recently, I took my most recent shot on Thursday of last week. And this time that I took the shot, several hours later, I went through a pretty bad, what I assume is a bad side effect of my shot. But it's odd that I went through this at this particular time because it was violent, and it was pretty severe. It was a pretty severe side effect. Like, I've experienced nausea from taking this medication, and I've been able to manage that and avoid nausea. So this was an interesting experience because not only did I end up having nausea, but I also had a severe migraine, and I had ocular migraine with it. So I took the medication like I normally do. Now, where you inject the medication can impact how your body takes it in. And so sometimes you can choose to do it in the back of your thigh, you can choose to do it in your abdomen. That's where I have most of my body fat, in the abdomen, but of course my thigh is pretty fatty too. Anyway, I chose to do the back of my thigh after I've been doing the abdomen for several weeks. So I made a choice to switch it up because sometimes people don't necessarily have the same effect with an injection that they had prior weeks. So I was trying to see if maybe this could kind of like jumpstart it again, okay? Because I've been noticing that it hasn't quite been handling some of my food issues the way it was in the beginning, where I was not thinking about food, not wanting food at all in the beginning. And now I'm finding that like I'm resorting to some of my old habits, my old food habits. So anyway, I digress. So I injected it, and then later on, like 4 or 5 hours, maybe like 4 hours later, I started to notice all these like things going on with my eyes. And what I later realized or found out was that this was an ocular migraine that I was experiencing. And it's like somebody holding their hand in front of your eye and you can't see past their hand, but you can see the light and everything, like you can kind of see things going on in the peripheral, but like whatever's going on behind the person's hand, you can't see because you can't see. Okay. So it was like that. And I couldn't really make out what was happening. I was sitting there looking at my phone and I'm like, why am I having such a hard time seeing? So anyway, I made a choice to go upstairs and I laid down, and I think I was able to lay down maybe for like over an hour, like asleep. And I woke up and my head was in a lot of pain and my eyes were still weird. I couldn't find my glasses. So I get up and I go to the bathroom, but I text my sister-in-law. I'm like, I can't find my glasses. Can you help me? I don't feel good. So she came out, we were talking. She found my glasses. She's like, you don't look good. I says, I really don't feel good. I can't really see. I'm having a hard time seeing. My head hurts a lot and I don't know what's going on. Obviously, this is a bad reaction to my medication for the week, because that's the only thing that I can see that I've changed. So anyway, I end up going to lay back down again. So I'm laying down maybe a half an hour, and I can tell that I'm going to be nauseous. It's just like when you're on this medication, you learn to see the signs of when you're going to be nauseous. And it's not like a pain, it's just like a growing sense of like it feels like gas. So anyway, without giving you all the details, I was nauseous, and it sort of alleviated some of the pain I was experiencing, but I was still having a hard time seeing. And at that point, I had had some Excedrin, so I was starting to maybe feel the slight dullness of the intense pain. And maybe instead of it being at a level 9, it was now at maybe like a 6.5, 7. It was still there, still significant, but it was lessened. So I was finally able to sleep through the night. I was able to lay down after that occurred and go to sleep and sleep through the night. And I woke up, my eyes were better. Like I could see again. However, and here's the weird part. Ever since then, now when I look at people's eyes, one eye is bigger and one eye is smaller, and it's bizarre. It's trippy, okay? Because it looks like one eye, and it's not like a super. When I look at certain like people in videos or pictures or even in real time, like I'm standing talking to somebody, I can see it, and it's trippy as hell. I can't unsee it. So like if I'm looking at you, the eye on my right, your eye on the, well, not you, but the person, if I'm looking at a video, the person's eye on the right that I'm seeing with my right eye is bigger, and the other eye is normal. And like when they're turning their eyes, when they're moving their eyes and stuff like that, they're kind of almost acting independently. So in other words, what it makes me feel like I'm looking at are actual like androids. Okay? They look like clones. They look like androids. They look like the left eye is the one that controls things, and the right eye is like the dummy eye. And they're not interact like the left eye, and then like I don't even want to go into the conspiratorial territory. But when you think about, it's weird that it's the same eye. It's weird that it's the same eye. It's the left eye seems to be the controlling eye, the dominant eye to them. But in actuality, it's their right eye, because when you're standing face to face to somebody, your left eye is parallel your left eye is parallel to their right eye, and their left eye is parallel to your right eye. So in other words, their right eye is the one that's controlling things. Okay? That's the control, that's the side that controls things, where the data house is, I guess you can say, the control panel, or whatever you want to call it. And I see it time and time and time again. And like, it's really interesting to look at actors, because we know a lot of the actors are entities or NPCs and everything like that. So it's very interesting to see that. It's even more trippy to be talking to somebody face to face and see it. It's not going away. This has been days now, where I thought it was like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 days. This is days, and I can see it everywhere now. It's not going away. And what did it for me was using quartz crystal as a control, because I was looking at her, and I have studied her face thousands of times, because I've watched her videos multiple times, and she's got over 500 videos. So just think about that. I've looked at her face thousands of times. I know what she looks like. I know how her eyes are, everything. And I can tell you, having looked at several of her videos, never once were her eyes altered. Okay? It's something with the NPCs that I can now not unsee. Okay? With the NPCs and whatever they are, if they're entities, whatever, but I think it's just the NPCs. So I can see that difference in their eyes now. And I can't tell you what exactly brought it on. I can't tell you if the medication brought on the migraines or if this was something that I was going through frequency wise at the same time. It's hard for me to pinpoint what exactly was the catalyst, but now I cannot unsee it. And it's bizarre. So I don't know. I don't know if this is just a me thing, if this is just a source player thing, but it's interesting. And now, like, I can't, like, I'm going to give you a really good example of like Melissa McCarthy. And I like her, like, I like her as an actor. I think she's funny and everything. But, of course, while you can certainly like certain actors or actresses and think they're entertaining, in the back of your mind, you're always remembering these are NPCs. These people are designed to, whatever. So, but looking at like interviews that she has done recently, like with her husband, and looking at the both of them and both of their eyes doing the exact same thing, like where you just really, it's like, was it the Stepford Wives movie with Nicole Kidman? Like Stepford Wives is they're actually robots, right? They're androids. But like it's like that. It's like sitting there and you're watching these people and you can see the truth about them. And it's kind of like that movie They Live. But, in that movie it's more drama and more sci-fi because when he puts the glasses on, he can see the aliens. But this is like, no, now I can see that these are androids. These are NPCs. These are not actually the source players. You can see the difference. It's really weird. Anyway, that's really as far as I want to go with this. I don't have any helpful words on that. It's just something that I've noticed with myself. And it's trippy and I can't unsee it. And on that note, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening and talk to you all soon.